2019-2020 and 2020-2021. We've also been able to strengthen county integrated M&D systems, that is ECMS. This is something that is also anchored in the Department of Planning, a very key component in public administration and reporting. We've also strengthened county performance management systems. I must mention that Tana River County has done the full cycle of performance management. We've been able to inculcate this from the highest levels of administration to staff performance appraisal processes. We'll see later on some of the asks around this department. It's very important. Establishing Youth Innovation Center. That is where the high-level delegation has just come from. I will not belabor into that. I know you have appreciated some of the functions and programs, especially that the UNDP, the Kenya School of Government, and the county have been able to put in place to support the youth agenda in the county. We've also, with UNICEF and other partners, been able to do a children and gender responsive budgets. And this is something that has been happening over time. But in the last 4 years in government, we've been able to move at least allocation from 36.8% to 41.2%. Quickly, I will go into the challenges. These are common across boards, but the specific ones, coordination and communication gaps. I believe we have room for improvement for the partnerships that we're carrying out right now with the development partners and other players, state and non-state. There's the non-existence of the central data repository, that is the dashboard. I believe this is a very key component in decision making, in research, knowledge management and development for counties. So if this is something we're able to address in the near future, I believe we'll be planning better, doing better. There are significant funding gaps that need to be addressed to ensure all the programs, especially those that are already ongoing, are successfully completed. So I will call upon our partners and other players in the house to consider this and look at how we can successfully deliver projects for our people. And then, of course, major item in public administration on matters human resource management, we still need to automate or better look at the performance appraisal system, which contributes or rather fits into the performance management systems. So we need to move our manual performance appraisal system to automation. Recommendations, these are things that we've noted while working with the technical team that has been on the ground in the past few weeks to this mission. There's a recommendation that there should be multi-sectoral coordination for the sector working groups. We need to further strategically involve the county support, the sub-county, the ward levels. We're also looking at following through with interventions for successful completion, strengthening the county capacity for resource mobilization, including also sustainability. Future outlook and some of the asks that are essential for the success of the partnerships at hand. We need to be looking at strengthening the linkage within the planning documents. This is something that is now a strength with the planning department, but there's still room for improvement. Strengthening the county statistical systems to support planning and M&A. And essentially, in the near future, successfully establish the county statistics unit, looking at technical and financial support to automate county performance management and productivity measurement. I must mention that Tana River is among the first 5 counties piloting productivity measurement in the country. Development, prioritization, operationalization, and dissemination of policies, legal and regulatory frameworks, strategic plans for line sectors, and of course, a key component in government, looking at how we can improve advocacy and civic education, essentially boot camping, that is strategically or innovatively come up with an outfit that will trigger uptake of learning opportunities, exposure opportunities for our youth and women and other special groups in the populations so that they can feel the optimal benefits of the services that we are offering to them as a government and as non-state actors. I think that should be the end of my presentation. I'd like to quickly invite Madam Emily Bridget Protocol. Invite Amani to take us through the details of the CIDP development process. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maureen. Your Excellency, and the other distinguished guests present here. Good afternoon. Mine is very brief, and it is to tell us where we are in terms of the County Integrated Development Plan for the year 2023 to 2027. So to speak, I would estimate that we are about 70% complete with that plan, because we have a final draft that is yet to be presented to Cabinet within this month. We hope that it will be presented to County Executive Committee for adoption, and then after that be forwarded to the County Assembly for further processing, upon which it will be approved for dissemination to partners and the county citizens and implementation. Now, these are the areas that we foresee that there will be some gaps, both in terms of financial resources and technical resources. One is in the area of the final drafting, because we've noted that we have lots of information, and if we include them or consider them as they are, we'll have a very bad document. So we need a leaner team to congregate, to refine all that input into a concise document. The next area of support is supporting the County Assembly in processing the document. So just to mention that, unlike the County Executive side that has had the document for now over 6 months, it will be introduced to the County Assembly and they'll be required to quickly process it. So we need to work with them or support them in that endeavor. The next is preparation of a popular version of the document. When we go out to engage with the citizens, they accuse us of presenting very bulky documents. I mean, right now the CIDP draft that we have is up about 250 pages. So we need to summarize it into a form and a content the whole public can interact with and really get clarity on what is this that the current administration and the county at large to implement in the next 5 years. I know UNDP has supported us in this that I'm going to mention, that is the indicator handbook. They supported us in preparing the indicator handbook for the second generation CIDP. We laid before you again as an area of, for your consideration of support in coming up with an indicator handbook based on the CIDP 3. And Maureen has mentioned something around strengthening our statistical system. It will be our priority and our focus to ensure that we strengthen our statistical units so that we can have a statistical abstract and word profiles that they will support the planning and budgeting function. So it's my pleasure to present to you these issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Amani, for that short presentation. Thank you, Maureen, also for that short presentation. I take this opportunity now to invite Omar Ahman to give remarks on behalf of the youth of Tana River County. Omar Ahman, let's put our hands together for him, please.
All protocol observed. Good afternoon. My name is Omar Athman. I'm here to represent the Youth Ambassador, Salim Kamlime, who is aware of the UNESCO conference that is held in Mombasa. So I'm here to represent the youth in Tana County. With me here, I've categorized my presentation in 3 categories. 1, I'd like to give a genesis of the Youth Empowerment Center. 2, I'd like to give my remarks on the benefits of this Youth Empowerment Center and innovation. And thirdly, to share out some of the grievances from the youth. So, the genesis of this Empowerment Center, it was a training session that was sponsored by the UNDP under the National Youth Council, where we had a round table with His Excellency. During that time, we shared different ideas concerning the youth. One of them being Youth Empowerment Center. Luckily, UNDP and KCJ, that is Kenya School of Government, we had an opportunity to organize a round table with the governor on the issue of Youth Empowerment Center. And we are glad as youth, the governor happened to accept our request by increase the budget allocation of the youth, especially on this Youth Empowerment Center. Through the UNDP and the KCG, we have now the materials. You can say we have the desktop computers over here, and some of the materials sponsored by the KCG and the UNDP. Now, we are lucky that they sponsored 1,000 youth on a weekly basis, where we were a group of 100 youth. So during this 1-week program, we were mentored and we happened to gain knowledge, especially on the entrepreneurial skill. So I'm a graduate of IT and the Kenya Highlands University. We all know that not all the youths here in Tana River are going to be employed by the county government. That's why we had to take the opportunity to gain the entrepreneurial skills so that we can empower ourselves. So through this program, I managed to gain the entrepreneurial skill. I have some of the youths who happen to get the knowledge of the hydroponic, marketing, of which I like the MC here after to give 3 to 5 minutes so that they can showcase their success story. So, as Omar, I can happily say now that it is now through the UNDP. I managed to have a budget, I managed to come up with a plan, I managed to come up with a source of funds, because one of the key issues here in Tana River is to how to source the funds, because we have the ideas, but where do we source the funds? So through this training, we were able to gain different investors, thanks to KCB, thanks to Equity. Now, we were able to know how to gain access to those loans. So for me, the knowledge that I gained from the training, I happened to take a loan. I opened up a cyber cafe. I'm happy to share with you. For now, I've employed 3 fellow youth, 2 ladies and 1 gentleman. So one of the key things that I learned from this training is that you must have a multi-services, of which my business previously, it failed because I concentrated only on cyber cafe. But through the program that was funded through the UNDP and the KCG, I was able to gain the knowledge that you have to multi-service. Like now, if you come into my cyber, I have a cyber services where I do photocopy, scanning, printing, as well as M-Pesa agent, Equity agent, as well as I have a PlayStation area, as well as a computer service area. So if the cyber season is low, M-Pesa peaks. If M-Pesa is low, PlayStation picks up. So for my business, I can say now I'm happy, because for it to fail again, it's impossible. Because not unless Mwenyezi Mungu anitoe kwa amue ifail. But naona naweza nikasema, I can say it's very difficult for it to fail because I have multi-services within my area. So it is now through the same project, that is Ufanisi Cyber Cafe, I've managed to open another company called NetFlash Internet Service. So I provide internet service within Hola for home Wi-Fi and business Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi in Tana. So these are the projects that have managed to be successful. It is through these entrepreneurial skills. But if it were not for these entrepreneurial skills, I don't know if I could be here standing sharing this idea to you. So thanks to the county government for their support, for the 1,000 youth program, and also for the born of this youth empowerment center. Also, I can say for the UNDP, we are very, very glad for you to chip in on this project, because we know that in Kiswahili tunasema vidole kushikana, si ndio? So hichi kidole kimoja hakiwezi kuvunja chao. Not unless you mix these two things, that's when you are going to kill chungu, chungu or chao. So I can say thank you. Also on the youth, now this goes to the governor, His Excellency. We have 3 issues that I've been asked to share with you. Now on the youth inclusion bill, we know that through the NYC, the National Youth Council, we managed as Tana River Youth to come up with a Tana River Youth Inclusion Bill, which is now under the table of the Clerk of Assembly, County Assembly of Tana River. We would like you to use your power and the executive to push for this youth inclusion bill to be implemented. Secondly, we are happy now that you've introduced Inuka Fund, but as youth, we'd like to have our cuts. Because for the Inuka Fund, we know that it was meant to benefit all people within Tana River, but as youth, we'd like to have our percentage so that we can benefit from this Inuka Fund. The first batch is out, we'd like the second batch to be, as youth, to be included. Lastly, we've heard about the scholarship bill. We'd like you to use your power through the executive to push for this bill to pass through the county assembly. It is there, it has been there for 3 years now. We'd like that bill to be passed so that the youth of Tana River County, they can benefit from that program. So I would like the MC to allow me to introduce two of my fellow youth to share their success story. Kindly. Thank you.
A round of applause. Thank you. We are supposed to go to plenary right now, but because of time, allow me to consent to the youth proposal to bring in 2 youth so that they can speak for themselves. I believe you came here to listen to the voices of the youth, and they are here to speak for themselves. Naima Riva, 3 minutes. Moyu, 3 minutes.
His Excellency, the Governor of Tana River County, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Naima. I'm glad today that I'm one of the youths who have benefited from this program of the Youth Empowerment Center. I believe that each and everyone you here have dreams that you want to make them come into reality. Through the UNDP and the county government, I thank God that I'm enrolled in this school to pursue the course of ICT, and now I have a certificate of ICT. I'm an ICT passioneer supporting in the expert of networking and internet configuration, printer and scanners configuration, web and office application, and also I do laminating, printing, and all of the cyber basics. I thank God right now that I stand before you. I'm employed at a cyber cafe. Now I'm unable to cater on my own problems.
Moyu.
His Excellency Dr. Godana, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. My name is Moyu Jilo Ngayana. I'm representing the youth of Tana County. I graduated with a Bachelor of Business Management, Accounting option. I'm here to confess that I'm among the youth who benefited of the program of the UNDP and Tana County government with KSG. With those training, I managed to open my own company called Pichico Company Limited. Pichico Company Limited is a real company, is a real estate company management. I do house agent in Hola. I sell plots and houses. I also do domestic workers in Hola. I also do casual workers. Thank you.
Makofi kwa moyo. So for those who are around Hola and your house girl disappears, you know where to go to get somebody to assist you for a few hours or a few days before you get one. Allow me now to invite Annika Otterstad from Sweden to speak on behalf of the development partners. A round of applause for Annika.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good time. It's very good as young people manage, but yeah, fine. So I come from Sweden. My name is Annika. I have my very good friend Anna from Finland here. So we are two of the development partners working together with UNICEF, UNICEF, and your country and the government of Kenya and lots of civil society organizations to enable, together with all of you, some changes in this country and in this country. And I think that coming from Sweden and Finland, we have quite some interesting experiences to share, and that is why Sweden and Finland is interested in cooperating through the different UN organizations with your country. And this is in very many different ways. We work with youth organizations, we work with women's organizations, gender issues, but also on environmental sustainability, climate change, and TVETs to ensure that not the least the new generation of this country and now in this country will be able to participate in the inclusive development, economic development, social development, but also contributing to a more gender equal future based upon sustainability, both in the use of natural resources, but also in adapting by becoming more resilient to the climate change that is here. We believe that by working together within the UN community, where Sweden and Finland are very active members, and working together with the different levels of the Kenyan society, we will contribute to, hopefully, improved economic development, but also social development. What we've seen here today, I think, is a very good proof of how any country within the devolution process can acquire new skills and empower its citizens through not that much resources, but working very strategically under the leadership of the governor, the leadership of the commissioner, the leadership of all the administrative people working in the sake of these people. We see that a lot of young people, at least the ones that we met today, they have hopes, they have a vision for their future. The girls and boys that we have seen, they are now enabling themselves to contribute to not only this country, but also to the country And I think that they proved to be very skillful. I can understand, even though it's hard, I think, as a foreigner to understand the difficulties in perhaps being brought up in a village, in the countryside, or in a pretty remote area from the capital of the county, to come, to first be able to come, to convince perhaps your parents or your relatives that now is the time that you want to develop yourself, your skills, you want to be part of this, the development of your country, but you also want to be able to have an income. Because without an income, it would be very difficult for each one of us to participate and to have an impact on the politics of this county and the country. So when speaking now today to these young women and young boys who were learning how to cook, to sew, to mend motorbikes, they were building beds. I think it's a very good proof of how do you, with small means, ensure that young girls and boys can now contribute to the development that you want to see in this county. And I can assure you that Sweden and Finland, together with our UN agencies and our friends, will continue supporting you here, especially now that we've seen so many good results. And I cannot enough stress the importance of having a good leader, because without the leadership, you will not reach where you want to reach. So thank you very much from us, and good luck. Thank you.
Maua, 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 mamblu, 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 mayelo, mayelo, manglini, manglini. Thank you, Anita. Allow me to bring on board now Mr. Maurice Ogola, representing the PS State Department of Devolution, to speak on behalf of the national government.
Your Excellency the Governor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm here on behalf of Principal Secretary Teresia Maika, who could not be with us here today, but she sent her greetings. As we come today here on this joint devolution program, I really want to thank you, Your Excellency, and the leadership of the county government of Tana River. What we have seen here today is really great and a true manifestation of the good work that this joint program has been able to do. I know this program has been very instrumental because as much as it is being implemented by 14 counties, we have several implementing government units who we are representing today, ranging from COG, CRA, COP, and many others, even control of budget. And a lot has been done under this program in order to strengthen policy, legal framework, PFMR, monitoring and evaluation, civic engagement. There is a lot which has been done under this program. And as we are even reflecting, as the program, when it is coming towards its close, we really see there is a lot. And today we are here practically to have the field. Your Excellency, one key area, and this one we have noticed that this program has really strengthened the county government, and especially in key deliverables in line with FTP4, we have seen a lot, and especially in line with the youth programs, which this program has really shined so well. And what we are just seeing here, in line also with what when we were going around, we've seen a lot. And youth have really benefited out of this program, and this makes us proud as the coordinator of this program. The State Department for Devolution will continue with this role of coordinating this program. And I want also to inform you that we've managed now to intervene and request the National Treasury to allow an extension, a no-cost extension. So the program will be running up to December to allow UNICEF and UN Women to finalize the other pending activities. So as we are even closing and as we are preparing for the next phase, we are now seeing which areas we need now to concentrate on. So I really want to thank you very much for this. For the county government, there are key issues which we have noted today, and especially the collaboration between the leadership and Your Excellency. Today we got a very good example for you. Going to see the county commissioner, in other areas, other counties, we know there are challenges, really, really big challenges. A governor cannot go to county commission. But thank you, you are very humble enough, and this will bring leaders closely, and it is going to enable us also to perform our work very well. So thank you very much for this great example, and we really appreciate it very much. On behalf of the State Department for Devolution, we really want to wish you well, and thank you very much for this time.
Allow me now to welcome Mr. Anthony Gororano, the lead UN agency representative here today. Karibu sana.
Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellency, Governor of Tana, all protocols observed, it's such a pleasure to be here today. I think over the last few days with my colleagues, with our partners, we've managed firsthand to witness the tremendous progress that for me came out very clearly in our conversation, in our exchange, and I think for me shapes the next generation of this work. One relates to the importance of inclusion. There is no society, right? There is no society on earth that has been able to basically develop quickly, leaving half of its population behind. Almost always, this half is constituted, sadly, to this day, 2023, of women. So women and girls, for the most part, and I think we discussed extensively today, have to be part, not of the problem, they are part of the solution. We cannot expect, as humanity, as a country, as a county, to meet our ambitious development targets without bringing along half, right, of the energy, ingenuity, and creativity. And I think going forward, while a lot of progress has been registered, this is an area that we will continue to work on. This isn't just about entrepreneurs and business. We discussed with His Excellency the Governor the question of women's political participation. I'm not even talking about the nominated one, those who are elected. And this is not a problem or a challenge facing Tana River alone. This is across the world and across Kenya. But I think in the same way that Tana has demonstrated its resilience, its ingenuity, its energy in becoming one of the models, I urge you to make sure that in elections to come, in terms of the landscape of business, right, in terms of youth empowerment, we have for every man or boy, we have a woman or girl standing equal, shoulder to shoulder. Without that, friends, this dream becomes much more difficult. The dream of developing Tana becomes much more difficult. Moving on, sustainability. This has been mentioned, so I won't belabor the point. But maybe a couple of things, and specifically relating to my young brother who spoke on behalf of the youth, right? Finance, okay, finance, access to money, access to credit, very important. But while as it is indeed essential, it's really important, it's not in and of itself sufficient, right? I'll tell you one thing, which is that the good idea, the idea that really solves a clearly defined problem, almost always attracts resources. And so I think the focus isn't on money for the sake of money alone. It's in search of that solution. Don't find a solution. Look at inventors, look at brands, whatever you will. All those who have been successful have responded to a clearly defined need, either coming from the market or from society. And so here, I think what I'm getting at fundamentally is what is our greatest resource. We always say the greatest resource is people. Yes, of course, people are the greatest resource for any society. But within that, what really matters is our creative energy. And I think today we witnessed firsthand work seeking to lay the foundations to really propel that creative power. So whenever we look, I think we have to keep a focus on really what's important and separate what's important from what's urgent. This question of creative energies. The rest, with a bit of help, and that's why we're here, will follow. My last point is about ambition. And I think here it's important. So we're in Tana, I know we are home to Kenya's largest, longest river that gives with it incredible biodiversity, right? This is literally the central, the central water system for Kenya and the region. That said, nobody is unaware that climate change threatens not just Tana River, not just the disruption of Tana River, but also the surrounding habitats. And so here, I want to pause and say, what do I mean, or rather explain what I mean when I say ambition, okay? We can spend our lives as development practitioners, as citizens, as leaders, focusing on problems, focusing on crisis. And if we did, life would be pretty glum. But also, I think we might move past or miss the opportunities that are staring us in the face. Right? And so here, in terms of ambition, in terms of all the constituents, there's courage, there's ingenuity, there's creativity, there's ambition, first and foremost, needs to guide us on this journey of development. And within that, I'll give one of many examples. You look at what you have in abundance, and one thing I think we've all felt today is that comes from above. In this particular case, the sun. Tana River, like many other similar or comparable political units, right, has a lot of potential. I think it's looking not at what we don't have. You know, and when you ask as a development person, what is it you don't have? Oh, we don't have money, we don't have this. Let's look at what we have and let's ask us, are we making the best use of our natural resources and endowments? And I think here, lies for me and this is a question we had for the governor earlier, which is what does economic take of Tana look like? And I think there are many things, and I'm not an expert, but clearly there are many different patterns. So pleased to be here. It's my first time. I can promise you one thing, and I think I speak on behalf of my colleagues, it will not be my last. We are together. Thank you, Asad Sana.
Thank you, Anthony. Allow me now to welcome the representative of the County Commissioner, SCC, Masapit, that name, Ole Masapit. Karibu sana.
Your Excellency, the Governor, Tarifa County, all protocol observed. Good afternoon. My name is Ole Masa, standing in for the County Commissioner. I'm his assistant, County Commissioner, in the Office of the President, representing the national government. Here, as the Commissioner said, we are here to hold hands with all the investors, all other departments and other stakeholders, the county government of Tana River, to support and coordinate any developments in the county. So we are here always to support and also to give all the necessary to ensure that the investment, any in the country, that are well supported and implemented. We donors, uh, county government, His Excellency. We have learned a lot today. We have seen the supports from you people. We appreciate so much. On behalf of our office, we say thank you very much. To the community, a lot to youth and women, kindly, as national government, we call upon you, please, support all and also join these developments. Hold the hands of the well-wishers, support your county government, because it is not good to see such a big structure, then in another year, when we talk of sustainability, you find the structure is empty because no youth who is willing to come and learn. You can be a mechanic, and you can be a mason, you can be a carpenter, you can be anybody from this structure. But what will happen if you cannot join to this institution? Yeah, you might have failed to get good grades to go to university, or to get finances to go to university. But that's not the limit of your knowledge. Here, this structure, you heard about the young guy here who said he opened a cyber. And he's earning money and also at the same time employing other more people. So be an example like him also. Join hands, own the structure, do awareness, be our ambassadors, teach other youth and women to come and join. And also to support any other development in the village. As we are always structured, all the way from the assistant chief or village elder to the national level. So we are there to support you, Your Excellency, the Governor, in any developments. We are there to pass all those information from the top, from the county level, from the national level to the village level, to make sure that those who are supposed to benefit, they have benefit. Otherwise, I thank you so much. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your support to this community. We hold hands, all of us, to make sure we put our supports to their satisfactory. Thank you very much and be blessed.
Asante sana. Now naomba tusimame. Let's stand as we welcome His Excellency the Governor to give his remarks and also close the ceremony for us.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Bwana Mami Sapit, SEC, River County, Mr. Anthony Ronaldo, the county representative for the UN, the representative from different embassies present today, a friend from the Liberation Ministry, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good afternoon. Mine is to appreciate so much for this evolution mission to visit us today in Tana, and to say the least, we cannot be able to appreciate enough what the collaboration and the partnerships we've had over the years since this government came into office has done to us. I quite remember from the word go, in the inception of the second generation of county government, when we came in and wanted to start the preparation of the CADP, we wrote to UNDP to be part of that support, to help us to reorganize the first generation CADP and get into the second generation CADP. And from their response, then we started the first CADP together. And from then, we had a rollout of now other partners coming on board. FAO, UN Habitat, UNEP, Sweden. I just mentioned that Sweden is a sister municipality. Gothenburg is a sister municipality to Hola municipality, which many people didn't know, but most of the people don't know. We have here as partners, Italy is part of us. We have here so many of you that have come to support this county to move forward. Where we have reached today, I can say that we cannot take for granted that level of support that the different organizations that have partnered with us have given to this county. We count all the success that we've had so far to most of you, the partners. I say this, I don't want to offend anyone, but I know I'm in government, I've been in government for some years. The CRA has been here. It was here today. It has been there 2 years ago. It was there this year. And everybody knows that Tana River is one of the neglected counties in the Republic of Kenya. I've said it many times in terms of deployment of infrastructure or capital investment projects. We've not seen much of support from the national government. And that is why probably in our thinking, in our leadership vision, we made partnerships as one of the pillars of this administration. And from the time we came in, we've been walking around trying to mobilize every support that we can be able to reach out to, including trying to mobilize national government to align themselves with us. And we hope that something is starting to happen. We have taken the alignment of the vision of this county with the national or the international as part of the first pillar, because we realized that much of what goes on in Tana has a big disconnect with that, the vision of the national. So one of the things that we put as pillar number one is the aligning of the vision of this county with the national vision and the global vision. And I think because of that, we have now been able to tie up what we think can happen here in line with the Vision 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals. And I think then, having you as partners looking at different thematic areas, we have been able to deploy the resources to the level that we are today. I have no doubt myself, because the indices speak for themselves. We have come from a bit far. You have seen there that in some areas of assessment, we were the last, we were number 47. And you are now told here that through your participation, through your support, we are now number 18. We were just being briefed the other day by our environmental officer that even in terms of forest cover, we used to be rated at around the 6%. Did he say? Yes. What did he say? 6%? Was it 6%? I think 6%. And now we are at 14%. From 6 to 14%. Although a bit of a tricky thing, we were among those that were in the disclaimer rating of audit queries. And we moved from disclaimer to qualified. So now we are at a bit where there's a grey matter somewhere which we will not avoid. But we did well. So this county has been known to be leading from below. But now, with the support of all of you, Tana is rising. The entities are saying that Tana is now doing well. And mostly we appreciate so much for the support of the setting up of this Center for Innovation and Youth Empowerment. I know when we started, we were, people never knew what we were looking at exactly. And now today you have come here, you've seen in every place we've gone, we have a very young population, very young people, very young boys, very young girls. You've seen them in tailoring, you've seen them in ICT, you've seen them in most of the places. And that is what made us to lobby to have this center. Because what we want is basically to create a generation that will take over the future. A generation that will be able to drive the future. The purpose of setting up the pillars is for us to be able to progressively emerge as a rising county. We don't care where we were some years back. What we're interested about is where we'll be after some time. And not a lot of time. Very soon. I think very, very soon. If the rest of the people can be able to do exactly or put exactly the kind of effort you people are putting in this county, then this Tana cannot be able to be generating negative contribution to the national government. I know I have come in conflict with the president. Twice now he said I'm always condemning national government. I said yes, I'm condemning national government. Not the president, but the national government. So we had a bit of a clash with the president. But I said yes, Mr. President, I'm complaining because we have only 2 roads that are national government roads in the county. We have no county road, no single county road in town. It's just that this road that you come through and the other road that goes to Lam. Those are the only roads that we have in this county. And we were asking, so where are the development programs under the Ministry of Infrastructure that target to open up Tana for development? Where is the electricity that we are looking at? Where are these capital investment projects that we can talk about that have come from the national to support opening up of this county and be able to contribute positively to the economy of the country? And that is what we've been saying. But from the time we started lobbying, we've seen you, we've seen UNDP, we've seen UNICEF, we've seen the rest of the people, we've seen Italy, we've seen Sweden, and we are still waiting to see a flooding of national government. And we hope very soon we'll have much of the kind of support that we're asking for, so that Tana can be able to emerge and be able to contribute positively to the economy of this country. I believe we can do it, we are doing it, and we will not relent, we will not stop doing it. With what we have, we'll be able to deploy that little that we have to ensure that we move forward. This year, we have put a lot of substantial amount of money to help this center move forward. We are buying a bus. We have bought a bus before, a small one, but now we are buying I think 50-seater capacity bus to help the young people move from town to the center and back. We are doing here 2 dormitories, one for the girls and another for the boys, so that they don't have the challenge of going to rent in town. They just can be here and continue with their studies. We are putting quite a lot of money in different sectors. Our new budget now is basically majorly aligned to the agenda of urbanization, where we anticipate, or we are planning under the village cluster program. We are trying to plan small cities across the country where services are consolidated and easy to deliver to the people. So much of the budget is aligned to the village cluster program, and the rest of the sectors are aligned to the village cluster program. That is what the budget of this, the 2024 budget is aligned to. So we believe much as complex as the vision could be, but we will walk slowly with the resources that we have. So we have reached at a turning point for us. Much of what we've done for the last few years is just the name of the foundation, but we believe now going forward is actually implementation and the achievement of major programs under the vision. So mine today is to appreciate and to request that you continue supporting us as a very young county. This municipality is a special municipality, it's not like other municipalities. It's a special one. We intend now to upgrade some of our small towns to town centers, and working that way. So we want to appeal to you, our partners, our friends, that you continue giving us that support, so that then in future you can be able to find a better place for you to be coming, rather than going to Dubai and the rest of the place. I think one day, I think now we have here some 4 hotels from 2007, 2017 until today. We have managed now to do some 4 hotels, a very nice ones. Now people can come visiting, spend 2-3 days around the whole town. It has never happened. So I'm hoping that in the near future, yes, very soon, we can have now the Hiltons here, we can have here intercontinental hotels, we can have the Sheratons, we can have the rest of the facilities that can make Tana a place that many people appreciate. You've also realized that issue of insecurity people have been talking about is no more, and it will never come back. It will never come back. With the partnership with national government, ourselves, and the communities, we have driven it off, and now Tana is a better place for investments and business growth. So thank you very much for your coming, and may God bless you so much. Maybe just to call upon the members of Tana River County to clap for the guests. Actually, that is for you and your delegation. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Komora, Ustadh Komora, tuombee na Pastor Ndugu, tuombee chakula. Immediately